You have to have a plan B in life. I mean, that's smart people have always said that you can't put your eggs all in one basket. And as a kid growing up in high school, things were great when the money was coming in, but when financial disaster hit, I mean, our whole family was in chaos. A little over 2 years ago, for the first time, for as long as I can remember, it scared me because I have a family. And if something would have happened and I got sick and I couldn't perform, we're only as good as our last performance in life. Fortunately, I got smart, received a phone call from a friend, and was told about this wonderful company, Visalis, and now I have choices in life. Coming home one night after a show, I was driving down the road and I saw some lights coming at me, and it ended up being an 18-wheeler, and what happened was he was on the wrong side of the road. I had to swerve. I had a choice to make, and I swerved off the road, and as I'm sitting there on the side of the road, it really hit me on, I didn't have a plan B. Me as a responsible father, for the first time, I got scared, because if something would have happened that night, what would happen to my family, my kids, you know, that type of thing, and medical bills. It would have been disastrous for our family. 2 weeks later, I said, you know, I gotta find a plan B. And sure enough, about 2.5 weeks later after that event, that one defining event in my life, I got a call. And that call was about Visalis.
There are so many positive changes in my life. Before Tony and I joined Visalis, I was working 60, 70 hours a week, juggling back and forth between 3 daycare centers. Now I get to spend all day long with my kids, and I'm absolutely amazed at my life and everything that's been going on every day. We have the extra income now that we're able to go to all of the Visalis events and any extra that we want to. Sometimes we'll fly in a couple days early, we'll stay a couple days later to be able to enjoy the sights and sounds of the different places that Visalis brings us.
One of the great things that I really enjoy is the fact that I'm so much more involved with the family, especially the kids. For me, that's been a really big treat. And also, I'm usually the only dad that's at these events, like these PTA events where you're meeting with the teachers. Usually it's like a grandfather or a grandmother that's there, or you see, sometimes you'll see the mother there, but for the most time you never see the dad. And to be the dad at his events where they're not generally, that's kind of cool. To be a stay-at-home dad and be able to do things that most dads don't get to do, that's pretty cool. And did I mention the BMWs?
We were the first ones, the first 5 in line to get our Beamers.
And I get to drive my kids to school really fast. Car seat in a BMW, that's hot. Performing is always going to be my plan A. I mean, always. I mean, I want to discover what I'm really good at, and I love getting people lost in comedy for, 90 minutes. So that'll always be my plan A. What I love about what Visalis has done, being my plan B, it's enabled me to have choices now. I mean, I don't have to take every gig that, my agent calls and says, hey, can you do this? I can now pick and choose where I want to go, where I want to perform, and always know that I've got my backup plan, my plan B, and it just makes it a lot less stressful, and I can plan my whole year out in advance, generally in most cases. So Visalis has enabled my plan A to be my, it's not so stressful that I have to always be there grinding and promoting myself. Now I can just kind of pick and choose what I want to do, and that's a great choice to have in life, when you can actually choose if you want to go to work or not, if you want to do your plan A. Visalis has changed my life in a lot of ways. One that really stands out is a couple weeks ago. I actually had lunch with my 5-year-old at his kindergarten, and as I looked around, and I'm looking, there are no other parents having lunch with their kid. And for me, that's when this whole plan that we put together 2.5 years ago, or for me, 18 years of being in this industry, for me is when it really hit home. Yes, we have a nice lifestyle, nice cars, we're able to do what we want, the money's fine, but for me, that was the defining moment when I said, wow, I mean, this is it.